Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome to my first look at the Yellow Turbans. So we're going to be diving into a campaign on He Ye in today's episode. I didn't want to do some super long edited video where I try and get as far in the campaign as I can in the 30 minutes we've been given. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to be diving in, taking a bit more of a chilled approach and just taking a look at his starting area and also what the Yellow Turbans are all about. Because they have a very unique but hard playstyle. Because you are kind of like trying to rally the people and all the other warlords are against you, you have no friends besides the other Yellow Turbans in China, meaning everyone is going to be trying to kill you from the get-go. And as you can see, we start off between two very powerful warlords. We have Cao Cao and we also have Sun Jin as well. So we're kind of surrounded. I think Liu Biao is also around here somewhere. And you obviously have Liu Bei to the north of you. The Dong as well, who will be coming in with Lu Bu. You're in a pretty bad situation. I mean, to be fair, all of the Yellow Turbans are sandwiched between pretty powerful factions. You even have this one up here who's sandwiched between Liu Bei and Yuan Shao. So yeah, it's a very, very tricky starting position, but once you get going and once you get to the mid to late game, you start becoming really powerful because of your new unique playstyle focus, which is population. You have a huge focus with your buildings and also with your kind of resource that you acquire through the game, which is specific to the Yellow Turbans. You basically end up being able to amass huge armies and have them replenish so goddamn quickly because you have so much population everywhere. It kind of gets a bit crazy as you get towards the late game, but let's just dive into the game and see where we start off. We'll also check out the intro cinematics as well for them. But yeah, besides that, we get a 15% boost to our upkeep for range units, so we can have a lot of missiles, and we also get 6 morale as well. He is a healer, so he doesn't really excel in fighting, but he does great at inspiring troops. So let's just dive into this campaign and see what it has in store for us.
Embers rise, stark against the night. The tyrant Dong Zhuo wields the flames of destruction. Luoyang burns, chaos ignites, as the power of the eunuchs is crushed. In the pyre, the Han falters. As the old ways, the corrupt ways, die, a new flag is raised. He knows it is time. The people must dawn like the spring. See the flames, my lord. Luoyang smolders.
汉室崩解，百姓遭灾，何其苦也！
You must put a stop to their pain, my lord. Yet you are beset on all sides.
我等之大义，乃汉之末路。
If you do not consolidate, they will overwhelm you.
我等寡不敌众，孰可战，孰不可战，万望深思。唯一守住这次来犯，方可对汉室发起反击。
We will endure, and then we will attack. The Han dynasty is finished. It is time for a new dynasty to rise.
So as you can see, that intro cinematic is basically hinting at how you should play the game. You need to just go ahead and bide your time, consolidate your power base, and then look to, expand and blow up. We have a little bit of kind of a mission to begin the game. We have to clan Han Empire regions, and we have to be wary of Liu Biao's vassals. We gain some extra experience and stuff, which is great, and a special spear as well, the heirloom spear on our general. We also gain a book of the people. So this is kind of what Yellow Turbans are all about. They're about building up, kind of uniting the Han provinces and just having crazy population growth. It actually kind of gets pretty disgusting as you get bigger and bigger. And look at this, because we are the Dominion of He Ye, we get a plus 10% replenishment bonus. That is crazy. in the early game of Three Kingdoms, you really struggle with replenishment, much like you should be until you can fully build up. So it kind of gets a bit crazy when you do end up just getting a huge boost to your replenishment. So we have a battle right off the bat. I'm probably not going to bother fighting this one just because it's going to be a fairly easy one. I want to try and get through a little bit of it so we can at least have one good battle in the campaign before we have to call it quits for today. But don't worry, guys, I will be going ahead and bringing you guys a ton more gameplay for Total War Three Kingdoms. We've also captured this guy. Unfortunately, we can't employ him. I don't think we can employ anyone like this. I think we get our own set of lords, but I'm not too sure. We're going to release him for the extra 200 gold, and we also are going to... Let's ransom him, because I want to see what our replenishment is actually like without any other bonuses to it. Nice, so we've succeeded. That was the mission we needed. Okay. Some extra bonuses as well. Capture and occupy any city, we can do that. So real quickly, yeah, look at that already. We got a 28% boost to our replenishment. That's crazy good. That is really, really good. 14 because of just basic replenishment rate, and then 10% from buildings, and everything else is really helping out. So we currently have a blacksmith set up, which is pretty nice actually. Extra replenishment and also military building supplies. And then we have some industry building as well as an iron mine. So this could be a really effective iron mine province. I think one of the things we need to do quite early on is we can't recruit anyone at the moment. No, we can't, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and assign he some extra equipment. I think we wanted to upgrade his family spear to this because it is, yeah, much better. So let's upgrade his weapon. And as you can see, as a base set of weapons, you also get a few more unique ones, which are specific to the Yellow Turbans, such as these like maces, and also I believe this bow staff is also a weapon. Wait, what? This is gun. It's not a gunbow, it's a staff. But that does say gunbow in the top left. Oh my god, imagine if you're just wielding around whatever time period of this is, 190 in China, and you're just wrecking. So this is our research rate. So you don't really get the fancy tree that the other factions get, which is very interesting. But it's kind of back to the old system of Total War. You can basically go through here, pick up extra units, pick up satisfaction, and enlightenment. Enlightenment is pretty important, and hopefully we'll find out why as we continue on. I think in the early game, we definitely want to try and pick up some extra units, but there's also a lot of really good bonuses you can grab up as well. And I think I'm going to take up the extra 10%, campaign movement range, because, yeah, that's really good. It allows us to get around the battlefield a lot quicker. So we have to think about now where we want to head off to. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to head... do we want to build up our armies and then move up? I kind of like the idea of having two very separate armies. So I'm actually going to move up a little bit. And start going, yeah, in several different directions. Should we upgrade our capital? I'm not going to upgrade our capital right now because I want to keep the money to build a few more units. And then diplomacy, as you can see, if we go quick deal and take a look at peace, no one wants to sign peace with us. They never will, really, basically. This is like this is Total War campaign. Okay, so we have a lot of money now. Let's go ahead and build a secondary army down here in the south. We only have access to one other character right now. But I'm sure we'll be able to bring some more to our cause pretty soon. He gets access to some infantry, which is nice, and we also get access to a handful of new units as well, which are specific to the Yellow Turbans. We have, I believe, these peasant spearmen, we have the yellow sky heralds, as well as, yeah, basically all our infantry is going to be unique to us, which is good. So let's pick up an extra couple units of infantry. Let's grab some of these bad boys, as well as increase He's army. And we'll grab some archers as well. That's going to be all our money for the turn, and it's going to, you know, severely hamper our treasury. But I'm hoping we'll be able to quickly just expand and blow out. You know, we need to consolidate our power fairly quickly. So I'm planning on sending him down to the south, and then obviously our main general up to the north. And hopefully that'll be pretty decent. And we can achieve that. So let's go ahead and continue on. I don't think there's anything else in our court we have to worry about. Nope, we're all good. Character-wise, I think everyone is happy as well. Also, I want to take a quick look, actually. How many armies do we have access to? Is there an easier way to see? Yeah, so you can actually see right off the bat we have access to 4 armies. That's crazy. That is actually wild, because a lot of the other warlords get access to 1 or 2. So the fact that you can just spam out these armies quickly, and you can basically just make the super cheap peasant units really quickly. Like, you just make loads of these guys they're rubbish, but they'll get the job done and allow you just to take over a large portion of the map. Okay, so I have 2 generals in both of my armies. This one has only just been recruited, so I'm going to lose a mustering bonus, but as we said previously, I don't really care too much about replenishment because we do replenish so quickly. So let's just move in, start setting some of these settlements under siege. They are just kind of fairly easy ones to take, so we'll just go ahead and secure this. Obviously, you can see He as well with his new weapon as well, the extra spear he got. And we're going to be able to take out these garrisons and help further our stuff. So this is one of the unique occupations that the Yellow Turbans have. Occupy, aid, and aid the wounded. You know, they're all about the people. So you can get a big boost to your faction support and also to your population growth. Because as I said, it's all about population growth with them. You can still sack and, you know, occupy and stuff, but we are simply just going to go ahead and pick up this settlement and push on from there. You can see we've actually already interacted with South, and I don't think they start off at war with us, but they definitely do not like us. Yeah, we can actually literally only ask people for peace, and no one's going to want to do it. I don't know if there's actually any other options available. Yeah, we can literally just declare war right now. You know, there's nothing else we can do. It's just a brutal onslaught to be at war with everyone. Do we have access to any more characters out of interest? No, no one else has arrived quite yet, but we can recruit captains, which is a very unique, interesting ability for the Yellow Turbans. So they don't necessarily have to have all these characters. They can, again, use the people to move on. So let's go ahead and pick up a retinue right here. Yeah, sure, why not? This is a weaker kind of retinue, but it's fine. It's all we need. Now, again, they are going to be replenishing and mustering, but as I said, I want to try and take some extra land and show you guys just how powerful the Yellow Turbans can be. And look at him as well with his dual maces, looking like an absolute beast. There's actually a small reinforcement here as well, but we will just go ahead and once again take the settlement to further our ambition. And we'll help out as well. So, like, the thing is, like, doing this extra 100k pop growth on the province is really useful because a lot of these smaller farmlands, you know, they don't really have a lot of people. So if, you know, over a period of time they get another 100k, you're basically, you know, doubling, almost tripling the amount of pop that are currently in the settlement, which is going to help your cities just grow, be extremely profitable. I mean, obviously you get loads more money through the peasantry, through taxes and stuff. So it's like you can really start to snowball this, and you can already see that we've like secured a great amount of territory. Now, obviously you've got to take into account that you're going to be fighting on every single side for a long time. I mean, there's nothing, especially if maybe up here in the north or over here on the left, you can kind of have your back against the wall. But with He, you've got the walls at every single turn, you know, so you're going to have to be using a large portion of these characters, a large portion of the captains to help push back the enemy. So is there anything else I want to really do right now, building-wise? I wouldn't mind upgrading our capital, but we're not making any money right now, and I think I need the cash for the foreseeable future. So let's jump ahead again. I think our reforms are going to be done next turn, so we get the boost to population, to the boost to our command, to our movement range. I can't assign any positions. Obviously, you can see as well the positions are fairly different as well. I believe as well we don't get access to spies. No, we don't get access to spies as the Yellow Turbans. You know, it's not something that they really kind of like worry about. But yeah, let's just jump ahead some more and we'll see. Hopefully we can get a battle in. Okay, so this is something else I want to quickly mention as well. So you don't really level up in the same way you do with the other warlords. In the normal kind of set of warlords, you level up through getting prestige, and that's by winning battles, taking cities, and building certain buildings. However, with the Yellow Turbans, you actually do it through this enlightenment tech, which, as you guys, I think I mentioned it earlier, right here, you can go ahead and gain this through doing research and other stuff as well. So it's a kind of a different way of upgrading yourself, and you get some extremely great bonuses. You can actually see exactly right there what the enlightenment actually does and what you get it from. So it's increased by character skills, granting characters positions, basically just doing good stuff in your empire. And the bonuses are nothing to be sniffed at. You get bigger bonuses to diplomatic relations with other Yellow Turbans, more replenishment, more assignments as well, which is something we haven't really been doing because we just don't have the additional bonuses. But I might see if we can actually recruit another character. Is anyone else at our court? Because it'd be nice. Now we have 0 candidates right now and all our commanders are in the field. It would be nice to actually go ahead and do some assignments because I believe they're unique to the Yellow Turbans as well. But for now, we'll just go ahead and level up. We do have a boost to level up, and you can see that we can actually take a large bonus of stuff, you know. Again, the original Warlords are very much like one line, you go through it, whereas, as you can see, you can kind of pick up anything you want to right now. And everything offers you enlightenment, which is very interesting. So for now, I mean, this guy is more of a commander, and the extra 10% campaign movement range and speed is just, that's a must. Campaign movement range is the best thing in the game, so we're going to grab that up and probably recruit some more soldiers in this army. They'll be cheap soldiers, but I think I just need men to fight. Okay, so it looks like we got a battle. I moved down to the south, and Hungzu actually came out with the support of his garrison. We have a pretty good chance of capturing at least one of the heroes, which we can then ransom. But let's dive into this battle, and we'll see what the Yellow Turban units are made of. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at what we have at our disposal. We have some of these really cool Militia of Virtue units. These guys are unbreakable, so they will fight to the death, and none of them will retreat from the battlefield. We obviously do have the Heralds right here, their maces looking to get stuck in. We then also have some of our Yellow Turban swordsmen, just kind of basically stock infantry. We have some archers back here as well, and some just peasant spearmen who are gonna basically just wielding bamboo sticks, ready to charge in. So I think let's just dive in. We have some pretty strong heroes at our disposal. We're both scholars, so they're not really designed for like heavy combat, but they'll do a decent job, especially this guy as well. With his dual maces. They have some pretty interesting bonuses as well. He has this massive debuff of hail of arrows, reducing the enemy charge bonus and also their attack rate. And then our other general as well has some big bonuses, so a big boost to his melee attack rate and also to himself healing himself constantly, which is pretty decent. So that can really rack up. But for now, we're just going to try and push on the enemy and catch their force before they can form up with their reinforcements. Okay, so let's stick this big debuff down, and I don't really know what to stick it on. Probably one of the generals, maybe? I definitely want to avoid fighting them for now, until maybe I've got more reinforcements, because they will mince me down. But if they go ahead and dive themselves into my infantry lines, I'll swarm them and I'll be happy to fight them and try and bring them down. Let's hail of arrows this general as well, try and bring him down. We got some spearmen fighting away their infantry. I mean, our main power in this, in this battle is simply just our numbers. So we have to try and use them as effectively as possible, as well as throwing in our infantry and other units. Let's try and get our spears over to this flank as well to help out against these missiles, or at least protect our own missiles. And the fighting is just fierce right now. I don't really expect our heroes to kind of come out on top in this battle, but it's up to our army to crush theirs before their reinforcements turn up. Which hopefully will happen. I mean, we are surrounding them. We're chasing off their missiles, which is good. So, yeah, we managed to kind of catch their army at our disposal. We actually managed to break. That debuff was huge then. It must have been. We debuffed him with this hail of arrows, and that must have just done some serious work. Okay, their infantry line is now being surrounded. Our numbers are doing work right now. And this infantry is actually pretty decent. Sorry, there's so many flags you can barely see what's going on. But there's like, even though our infantry isn't the best in the world, like we just have a lot of it, and it actually does hold its own pretty impressively. Like, I'm definitely not complaining about how decent it is, and our infantry can go and basically bring down a large portion of their generals. Let's go ahead and debuff him as well. That should just really hurt him. The minus melee attack rate is just big. It basically just means he's sitting around, much like our swordsmen, which are just chasing them down. But yeah, the battle is looking good. If we can clear this up quickly, then we can really move on. Yeah, look at the damage he takes when I drop that debuff on him. That's actually crazy. So we managed to break the majority of their army over here. However, their garrison is now attacking me. So we're going to have to quickly go ahead and move these guys around. We're exhausted, but I just need to throw them in against these guys because I'm taking a large amount of damage from their missiles. I leave a few units back to help fight out there. And obviously winning this left flank is great. I think I've killed all of their generals now, as well with my generals. Them debuffs were huge. Yeah, this one managed to get away, Lu Gong, but everyone else has been killed, and that's obviously really negatively affected their army. The missiles are fierce. Luckily, we are shielded infantry. That helps out a bit against the missiles. I mean, the battle is looking pretty good for us. We just need to kind of rally around and envelop what remains of them, and then hopefully just try and chase off these missiles. And there we go. We managed to clean up the enemy and take victory. This will be awesome because now we don't have to bother really fighting this army in the city anymore, which we are moving towards. We can simply just basically we've killed the army, we've killed the garrison now, and we can just move on. And as you can see, you know, in the early game, the Yellow Turban units, at least their stock shields, are actually really decent. They can definitely hold their own, and they can go toe-to-toe with a lot of the enemy forces. Obviously, not having cavalry is going to be really painful this early on, but you can pick it up kind of easily towards when you get a few mandates in, and move on from there. So yeah, some nice loot, and now we can just move on and sack the city. Again, obviously we can't employ him, but we can ransom him for some good money, which is going to really help us on, and we will probably just take on the replenishment as well. We did lose our militia of virtue, but we should get him back yet, and he just flees back inside of the settlement, so that shouldn't really be much of an issue though for us. And as you can see, we've gone ahead and have we got ranked up now? Yes, we actually just went ahead and achieved balanced right now, giving us access to another army, more assignments, and also you know, less characters trying to further themselves in the kingdom. So that's great. Gain an extra sword as well, a noble sword. It's pretty good, and a ton of money if we complete their mission. So we're gonna have to try and definitely do that. But for now, we should just be able to, yeah, we should just be able to quite easily move in now. Even though it is a city, we are able to beat them back because we've already killed most of the garrison. And as you see, there's a bow in its back as well, which is nice. Then with this other army, I mean, we're going to be making probably some profit soon enough. Like, the problem is we've got 2 armies going, and that's expensive. However, we're taking a lot of territory, right? We've only been playing for like 2, 3 turns, 9 turns, and we already have, you know, a very nice, sizable set of provinces. We've also just picked up the extra enlightenment as well, which I think is what done it, and that's given us access to a new set of reforms we can do. Or I guess, yeah, they are called reforms still. A new set of reforms we can do. We get more buildings, enlightenment, replenishment, mustering turns as well. That's so good, so you just get troops so much quicker. Extra food is amazing. Yeah, especially if you stack food, I imagine you get such a big boost. Let's grab this up. It's going to take us 5 turns because of our research rate. Obviously, we can boost that up through population and stuff. And yeah, we can really start to go on and continue to advance our cause. So quickly, before we wrap up this episode of the Yellow Turbans, I want to quickly show you guys the building trees. So you have some pretty awesome buildings at their disposal, and it mainly comes from this government building chain right here. They have access to a special healer building, which gives them, again, great population growth and public order. They also have access to a research building right here that helps boost that up and gives you enlightenment, so you can really rush towards the later ranks and use them bonuses to help further the campaign. They also get access to a headquarter as well, which again gives them additional administration positions and recruitment costs, as well as a ton of public order as well. I mean, it's kind of a crazy bonus, but you can pick up. Especially if it's in the center of your empire. You can see it actually takes a public order debuff if it's next to enemy commanderies. So if you stick this kind of in the center of your settlement, it will go ahead and really kind of help you flourish outwards. And then finally, you get access to this temple as well, which I think I just said. But again, this gives you enlightenment and a ton of extra money. So, you know, they're a very, very powerful faction. And I think if you can survive the early game and get to late game, you will be taking names. Even when all the other factions have huge coalitions and stuff, you can use the terrain to your advantage because, you know, these rivers and mountains do play a big role in the defense of your territory, and you can really start to push home just the will of the people, because you'll be advancing a lot quicker than everyone else will be, even though they do have the ability to form alliances and, you know, coalitions and stuff. But I think for the player, this will be a very fun, fast-moving, rapid campaign as you just liberate the whole of China and try and bring them onto your banner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my first look at Total War 3 Kingdoms for Yellow Turbans. If you guys are looking to pre-order Total War 3 Kingdoms and gain access to the Yellow Turbans, be sure to go ahead and check out my link down below in the description for Games Planet. They work directly with publishers such as Sega to bring you guys the game keys. They'll basically, if you do pre-order from them, they'll just send you a Steam key on release, and that'll give you access to the Yellow Turbans as well. If you use my discount code, you can go ahead and get 16% off the sale price on Steam, so it's a great way to help support the channel and get yourself some cheaper games. I've used them plenty of times, and I think a bunch of people in the community have also used the key already to go ahead and pre-order Total War 3 Kingdoms. Unfortunately, this offer is only available in Europe because Games Planet haven't quite worked out the deal yet with Sega in NA, but I have heard that the NA store is on its way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.